Hey, what's up, Microcryptosofts family? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's been on everyone's minds lately: Bitcoin mining profitability and whether it's still worth it in 2025. I know a lot of you have been asking if it's still a smart investment or if the whole thing has become too competitive and costly. So grab a seat, grab a drink, and let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. Bitcoin mining has been around for a while now. If you've been following the space for any amount of time, you know that the profitability of mining can fluctuate a lot. I mean, 1 month you could be making a decent amount of BTC, and the next, things could get a lot tighter. This is because the price of Bitcoin itself is always changing, and there's also something called mining difficulty. Basically, the more people mine, the harder it gets to mine Bitcoin. So, is it still worth jumping in and mining Bitcoin in 2025? Let's break it down. First off, let's talk about the hardware. In 2025, the mining hardware scene has evolved. You can no longer just use a regular computer or GPU and expect to make decent returns like we used to be able to back in the day. Now, the competition is fierce, and only specialized machines like ASIC miners are really up to the task. But those machines can cost a pretty penny. I mean, if you're looking at top tier models, you're looking at thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands, to get one that's going to give you any real shot at mining profitably. But it's not just about the hardware costs, right? You also have to factor in energy consumption, and this is where it gets tricky. Bitcoin mining uses a lot of power, like a lot. The more powerful the hardware, the more electricity it needs to run. In 2025, electricity prices are rising, especially in areas where mining farms are concentrated. You might be able to find cheaper energy options, but it's not always guaranteed. And the thing is, if your energy bill eats up a large chunk of your mining profits, it could really hurt your returns. You definitely need to keep an eye on it. Now, let's talk about mining pools. You see, solo mining Bitcoin in 2025 is pretty much a thing of the past. Unless you have an enormous mining setup, you're probably going to want to join a mining pool. Mining pools let you combine your mining power with others, and when the pool mines a block, the rewards are split based on how much hashing power you contributed. But again, the payouts here can vary, and depending on the pool's fees, you might not see as much as you expect. It's something to think about. And then there's the Bitcoin price itself. In 2025, Bitcoin is still volatile. Like, it's pretty much never going to be a stable asset, but that's kind of part of the fun, right? If you're betting on Bitcoin's long-term growth, it might still make sense to mine even if the immediate profits aren't great. But if Bitcoin drops significantly, or if there's a major downturn in the market, well, things can get pretty ugly. So, are you willing to ride that wave? Also, don't forget about the Bitcoin halving. The most recent Bitcoin halving happened in 2024, and it cut the block reward from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC per block. This means that miners now earn half as much for their work compared to the previous cycle. So, that definitely impacts mining profitability. Fewer Bitcoins per block means you need more efficient equipment or better strategies to stay profitable. So, all of this brings us to the big question: is Bitcoin mining still worth it in 2025? Well, it really depends on a few factors. If you're just starting out, it might not be the best time to dive into mining with a massive investment. The competition is fierce, and unless you're using specialized efficient hardware, the costs could quickly outweigh the profits. You see, one of the advantages of software like Microcryptosofts is that it doesn't require you to have expensive mining equipment at all. Instead of investing thousands into hardware, you can simply use the cloud to mine Bitcoin, which reduces your upfront costs and eliminates the massive electricity bills. With Microcryptosofts V.0.1, you can mine between 0.0005 to 0.0007 BTC per day using just your home PC or laptop. It's a beginner-friendly option if you're looking to dip your toes into mining without making a huge investment. Now, if you're more serious about mining and want higher returns, Microcryptosofts 4.0.9 is a solid option. This version allows you to mine between 0.001 to 0.025 BTC per day by leveraging cloud-based mining technology. It's more advanced and yes, a bit more expensive, but the returns can make it worthwhile, especially when compared to traditional mining rigs. And honestly, if you're just in it for the long-term game, where you're holding onto Bitcoin for the next few years, it could still still be a decent strategy to mine Bitcoin now while prices are lower. After all, Bitcoin has a history of bouncing back from dips, and when that happens, well, you could end up making a pretty solid profit. Alright, so to wrap it up, is Bitcoin mining worth it in 2025? It really comes down to your own situation and goals. If you're someone with deep pockets, cheap electricity, and the right hardware, or you're using the right cloud-based software, mining might still be worth it. But if you're just starting out or looking for a quick return, the barriers to entry are pretty high. It's no longer a set it and forget it kind of deal. You have to be strategic and prepared for some ups and downs. I hope this gave you some clarity on the whole Bitcoin mining thing in 2025. If you're interested in learning more about mining and how to get started with Microcryptosofts, check out the link in the description below. Thanks for hanging out, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. Until next time, happy mining.